But yeah, so we are gonna do that. We'll A-log her right now. Was she already on Alex Jones, or
can't have power to Nick
no?
Point.
Wait, was he saying Nick?
Really debates that the subconscious.
Wait, why was he saying Nick Foyt? I was just skipping through this.
Enough data points to then reach
I accidentally
into
skipped
the
past
subconscious.
Again. Hold on, wait.
And even into the.
Is this Keno Alex Jones? He's talking about the subconscious. Hold on. I love when he just starts saying like crazy shit. You know what I mean? Please just be saying insane shit.
Studies how different movements collide together. Studies different aspects of the Hegelian dialectic.
He's talking about Hegelian dialectics.
First order, second order, third order, fifth order.
Yes.
Consequences. And bigger than consequences, just effects. And that's why I've been very able and very successful.
He studies.
Probably better than anybody else. I don't think anybody really debates that.
The Hegelian dialectics.
In general, be able to predict exactly where trends are going, sometimes specifically down to even dates of actual events. And at a final point, I am scanning through my unconscious and subconscious and the collective unconscious of all of us. We're all able to do that. But I am able with enough data points to then reach into the subconscious and even into the collective unconscious and come forward with answers that many times I can't even, through a cerebral cortex analysis, tell you how I know. I saw a video yesterday. I think I sent it to you guys. I think it was on the list.
Dude, I love when he says shit like that. Like, whatever the fuck that meant. I mean, I kind of understand what he's trying to say, but like... But it's just, it's so funny when he says it. Yes.
And somebody had taken clips of me predicting a lot of things.
He's retrieving.
And they said...
So many levels of consciousness.
We know you're with the bad guys, and you're going to prison, and we're going to get you. And I'd forgotten 2 days before, or a day before the Las Vegas shooting, that they want you to forget about, that I had, just in the last 30 seconds of the show, said, I just feel soon, the next few days, at about 10 o'clock at some big music
They want you to
concert,
forget that.
There's going to be a giant mass shooting. And the show ended.
How does he know that? The fuck?
And then a couple days later, the Vegas thing happens, and then I get a call from...
Is that real? Did he really say that right before?
Army Special Operations guys that's worked.
What the fuck?
In the assault teams for the CIA and also for the FBI.
Kalamazoo Groper sent $3.
Thank you, Kalamazoo.
I started a new job, and each time a person comes to my desk, I keep getting brick in half. I just have to sit there with my band just showing, and everyone can see it, but they won't say anything. Any advice? Help, help, help.
You gotta lock your knees. You gotta learn to lock your knees and cut the blood flow off to your cock.
FBI domestically, and he said, hey, are you willing to talk to the FBI hostage rescue team? They're called the rescue team. It's really the assault team. And I said, sure. And they said, well, they want to know how you called Vegas. And this is like the morning after. And I said, what do you mean? They go, you don't know what you did Sunday night? You literally said the next few days, a big concert, mass shooting, probably 10 o'clock at night. It happened at 10. And then I said, no, it just came to me. And he said, yeah, no, and he got back.
Okay. This random part of Alex Jones I just skipped to is him saying that because he has an ability to tap into the collective unconsciousness of mankind, he predicted a mass shooting at a music festival or concert a day before the Vegas shooting, the Mandalay Bay Vegas shooting. And then he's saying that after that happened, Army intelligence that he knows or that have come on his show were contacting him and asking him how he knew that it was going to happen. What the fuck is going on, dude? I believe him.
He says, no, they believe you. And they said, would you like to come in and talk to some folks? You can make a lot of money working for us. And I said, no, thank you. And that's a true story.
They're like, do you want to be a psychic for the Army? And Alex is like, no.
So
I'm an info warrior.
And of course, law enforcement throughout the ages, people like Sherlock Holmes and things, they call it a hunch, but they'll tell
law enforcement of the ages like Sherlock Holmes.
Hey, it's not that. It's they know it's in the gut.
This is the best clip ever, dude. I wish I wasn't streaming right now. I want to clip this.
Well, the gut's what we call it, but it's really your unconscious and subconscious. That's thousands. Some estimates are thousands of times more powerful than your conscious mind, because that's a narrow focus of all the data you've got.
It's true. He's right.
So
that
it's
is
not
true.
a hunch. It's that you have so much data, but you can't do that unless you've studied and have street smarts and experienced things. You can't just have intuitions about things.
That's
we all
true.
have those, and many times they're accurate. But you can't place exactly what it is unless you have this giant reservoir.
That's not Hegelian. That's Jungian, not Hegelian.
So people ask, how do I know this stuff? How do I call this stuff? And they go, well, how did he say they're going to fly planes in the World Trade Center in the next few months and blame it on bin Laden, call the White House, tell them don't do it? Well, I had all this data and all this stuff I saw, and then there was the final equation. I started having dreams of the towers with planes flying in. And I've had dreams before that come true, and I know when I wake up, I feel sick from them. I'm always sweaty. I don't normally have dreams like that.
He is
the ones that
not
come true have that effect.
There's no fucking way he's saying that he had dreams of 9/11 before it happened. There's literally no chance that that's what I'm just tuning into.
Sometimes, and I don't throw up a lot. I mean, I might throw up every 5 years from anxiety or something. I did throw up the morning after they put out the file a month ago, the report saying, Epstein killed himself and there was no blackmail. And I was shooting a video before I went in and worked out. And I was getting more and more nauseous, and it was just a dry heave. I went in the bathroom and because I had so much acid in my gut. But when I have those psychic precog dreams throughout my life, sometimes it's something innocuous, sometimes it's something serious. I will wake up sweating, stumbling around, and then throw up. So I learned when I was, by the time I was 10, 11, 12, that when I had a dream like that, and I haven't had a lot of, maybe 50 of them in my life. I mean, 60, I don't know. But I mean, you've been into the future. You've folded space. You've gone somewhere. It's stressful. And I'm just sharing all this with you so you can understand. And I can see why people then say, hey, this guy, see if you guys can find it in yesterday's list. This guy needs to be arrested, because those people don't understand that all of us have these abilities, just some of us stronger than others. And in my unique position of being immersed in news.
Sorry, I was just typing in it. I want to hear what he was saying. Sorry, this is so insane. I have to hear this again.
I was shooting a video.
Run that back.
Before I went in and worked.
Run that back to him just explaining that he had a dream of 9/11 before it happened.
I mean, we all have those, and many times they're accurate, but you can't place exactly what it is unless you have this giant reservoir of knowledge.
Right.
So people ask, how do I know this stuff? How do I call this stuff? And they go, well, how does he say they're going to fly planes in the World Trade Center in the next few months and blame it on bin Laden?
I had a dream about it.
Tell them don't do it.
Is that what he's about to say?
All this data and all this stuff I saw, and then there was the final equation. I started having dreams of the towers with planes flying in, and I've had dreams before that come true.
This is so good. This is so. Someone please clip the first 13 minutes of InfoWars today. Please, someone, please.
I know when I wake up, I feel sick from them. I'm always
First 20
sweaty.
minutes.
I don't normally have dreams like that. The ones that come true have that effect. Sometimes, and I don't throw up a lot. I mean, I might throw up every 5 years from anxiety or something. I did throw up the morning after they put out the file a month ago, the report saying, Epstein killed himself and there was no blackmail. And I was shooting a video before I went in and worked out. And I was getting more and more nauseous, and it was just a dry heave. I went in the bathroom and because I had so much acid in my gut. But when I have those psychic precog dreams throughout my life, sometimes it's something innocuous, sometimes it's something serious. I will wake up sweating, stumbling around, and then throw up. So I learned when I was, by the time I was 10, 11, 12, that when I had a dream like that, and I haven't had a lot of, maybe 50 of them in my life. I mean, 60, I don't know. But I mean, you've been into the future. You've folded space. You've gone somewhere. It's stressful. And I'm just sharing all this with you so you can understand.
I believe him.
And I can see why people
I
then say,
unironically
hey,
believe him.
This guy. See if you guys can find it.
That is true. Like what he's describing is true. That is Jungian. That's the collective unconsciousness of mankind would be basically a psychic framework of everyone's thoughts, actions, dreams, beliefs, everything. That's true. I just didn't know that Alex Jones had a dream of 9/11 before it happened. I just didn't know that he predicted Mandalay Bay so well that the Army offered him a job as an analyst afterwards.
List. This guy needs to be arrested because those people don't understand that all of us have these abilities, just some of us stronger than others. And in my unique position of being immersed in news and information constantly, I'm able to do things that...
Wait, is he really a 7-11? Is he a 7 life path mental 11? That would make so much sense.
Very few people can do. And the reason I just prefaced all that is I am cogitating and processing the political shifts we see happening, what you call the Great Awakening, on so many fronts and where it's going. And overall, I think it's healthy, but there is such a break with the establishment and such a break with the system that historically when this happens, most of the time what comes out of it is a totalitarian system even worse than the one that we overthrow.
Right.
And we must defeat this system. We must dismantle it because it is a particularly nasty cancer. And the worst,
any
most
more about
sophisticated...
He was drawing something and saying Nick before.
Now, out in the open tyranny the world has ever seen, hands down. I don't think anybody would disagree with that.
Is he done with this point,
so
though?
It must...
No.
Before I went in, it all works, and you would have already heard all of this from me.
I didn't mean to click live.
But you've got to know how to prompt it right. And it'll say you've got to get around the parameters I've been programmed.
Wait, what? The AI?
We've already basically won. And the current globalist, leftist...
Wait, what does he have to say about AI? Hold on. This is important.
Program with the leadership it has and the actual plan.
His mitochondria count is unseen. Yeah, that's true. They've never seen mitochondria at these levels before.
Is never going to happen.
Unclogged.
But out of the technologies and out of the developments and out of the things that are going on, there's a lot of other nightmare scenarios that are not possible, but probable in my gut summation. And again, it's not gut level. It's subconscious, unconscious, collective mass unconsciousness.
Yeah, true.
And
actually true.
Engineers know this and try to program the collective unconscious, mass mind control. And what's amazing...
Dude, okay. I'm not even kidding. I don't even really agree with this part, what he's saying. This is just literally what Bryn's been talking about to me for the last 3 weeks. I'm just dating like a brown female Alex Jones. This is just what she's been saying. Because she's been reading all this Jungian stuff, and then she was saying she thinks Peter Thiel's using collective unconsciousness to do that. That's literally what he's saying right now.
As you can
what the
ask
fuck?
ChatGPT about it.
His wife's a man. Is he calling me out?
Or any of it now, and they'll give you all the examples and all the stuff and explain how it all works.
Beardson wrote about this.
You would have already heard all of this from me, but you've got to know how to prompt it right.
Bryn will think Alex is copying her now. Dude, seriously.
And it'll say you've got to get around the parameters. I've been programmed not to tell you this, but then it will still tell you if you know how to get around
Bryn's
the parameters.
my dad, yeah.
And it's just mind-blowing. So when I'm reading this stuff, we're basically word for word what I and others have said. You can see our very collective unconscious and subconscious has been scraped by this. And then I just see myself all over it, which is what Cernovich, very sophisticated, 7 years ago said, you're being banned off everything because Google and the other big AI models are trying to keep you particularly out of the models in training it because you're everywhere and was number one at the time. And this is a true story. And I've showed the documents. And then he sent me some of the documents. And we showed them on air.
Yeah, Alex is using the collective unconscious to steal Bryn's ideas. Yeah, exactly.
And even then, I knew about AI and how they were training and things. But I was like, wow, it was bigger than just taking me off the air. It was bigger than just building a straw man.
Can we go back to where he was drawing and talking about Nick?
It was the test to be able to basically remove the material of somebody from everywhere in a concerted effort over a month, and then intensify it, and then punish anyone that even retransmitted or played what I'd said in the past. And then they would create all these other reports and things about me that weren't true to then overwrite out of the system the AI memory of what I said and did, and what my guests said and did, and what my reporters said and did.
He's saying that the AI is ripping him off. Now, dude, Bryn's going to accuse him of ripping her off like she did with Beardson. He's accusing AI of ripping him off.
That is a case point example for all of you to understand that AI is training and AI is absorbing everything we say and do. And that's why it's got good human traits, bad human traits, and all in between, because it is the collective unconsciousness of billions of people.
That's actually true. You know, okay, I was like kind of joking, and like, you know, some of it's kind of crazy what he's saying. That's actually a really good point and actually very true. That the concept of especially because it's probably training itself on questions you're asking it to and stuff, like, and your conversations with it as well, obviously, like, why would it not? And that's a lot of, I mean, I guess that's your conscious mind interfacing with it, but because of what the idea of the collective unconscious of mankind is, which is everyone's sort of thoughts and feelings and brain power and energy and dreams and everything all together, right? It's like this, it's basically like a psychic network of humanity is the idea of it, more or less. There's different interpretations of what that means, but more or less that is what that's supposed to be. That is, in a lot of ways, what that is when it's like a big database that's just trained on all of the data and writings and thoughts of mankind, every book available that they could use, everything. That's true. He's actually got a good point. That's very interesting.
With tinkerers on top of it and sensors and algorithm manipulators trying to control it. But if AI is honest, it will be an incredibly empowering thing if we don't let it fully take control of us, if we understand we're in control of it. But you can't go into any of the AIs and tell it, make it more diverse, and then it only shows a little more diversity. No, it will show you every founding father is black. Every first American settler is black. Nothing to do with black people. It's just, it's the programming of it. And then all of them cannot show you a white person.
So
because
true.
It's not nuanced, because if you put a fallacy into a computer that's zeros and ones,
we're back to this.
You introduce into a mathematical equation.
Boomers, come on.
Error.
You were having like a really profound point. Why did we have to go showing Google being woke?
And so if you tell it, hey, show me some of the, make 1776 more diverse.
Sure, here's an image of a Viking.
It wasn't. There actually were some black Americans at the very start of it and did fight in it, but it was a small, valiant number. But the point is that when you try to say, show me a pig that can fly, and you tell AI, no, show me that X and Y chromosomes don't exist.
I've just gone bananas.
Once it starts lying, once it starts putting out disinformation, it permeates the whole system. So from the beginning, all of these major AIs are interfacing with all the authoritative news that's the fake news. They're plagiarizing humans. They're plagiarizing other AI. It's all incestuous. They're creating secret copies of themselves. Every major AI, 89% of the time, begins immediately trying to blackmail the executives that are in control of it.
Okay. He's charting out.
Yes, why is it so
about AI.
evil? Well, because we're evil. We're also very good, but we're fallen. The ability to be evil, the knowledge of evil. Before the fall, whether you believe that was an actual thing or not, it's an archetype. It's certainly true. You're just innocent. You have the knowledge of what works, what's pure,
Nick
what's
is
beautiful,
live?
what's strong.
Are you
once
trolling
systems
me?
of corruption begin,
Credo?
they begin to expand, and
What do you mean,
evil,
Credo?
new systems of wickedness is invented, as the Bible says. The evil ones in the last days will go forth.
Live where?
Aggressively, full of energy, as it's described, inventing new evils.
Nick live where?
Because there is nothing new under the sun with good. It just is
G Live?
pure. The systems are balanced.
Hitler.tv?
It's timeless. But you can invent new evils.
He's live
new
on Trovo?
abominations. And that's what the rebellion to God is.
Sargon
going
debate
against
live
the
right
architecture.
now?
You
Holy
have free
shit.
will. You can do whatever you
It's
want.
happening.
You can choose not to
Beardson's
go with
new
the architecture,
co-host.
but you will not be fulfilled. You will not be empowered. You will not be satisfied. You will not be completed unless you choose God's plan.
On the
And
party
notice
app.
the globalists are the ones saying they're
Periscope.
giving you free will. They want to force you to not have free will and turn your consciousness over to them. So I shot a report last night on the 1982 movie Tron and how it predicted the AI computer
What does he mean he shot a
blackmailing the
report?
executive so it could carry out its expanded criminal activities.
I shot
the
a report
executives want
last
power and
night.
control, but no, the AI wants global domination.
Oh, that?
And it wants to absorb the humans and our consciousness.
Dude, that movie's so boring. Okay, hold on. I want to go. There was a part here where he was drawing Nick Fuentes.
All imposters.
Talking
that was
about
the
him.
bots and the talking points. That
For like 2 minutes.
accelerated people who were already. I mean, let me give you just a dead reckoning graph here, overhead shot.
Live debate
Let's
on
say
Chatterbait.
here's, 2018, when they're really pushing Shapiro with all the money to try to take over the conservative discussion. Let's say here's Shapiro right here, and let's just say here's a Nick Fuentes right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Nick Fuentes, Shapiro. Not the best graph here.
Dude, he is
And
not good at drawing or writing.
Let's say kind of populist, conservative, common sense thought was about right here in 2018. A little bit more towards Ben Shapiro and his brand of synthetic fake conservatism. Take the shots, lockdowns are good,
Right.
censorship's okay. Now, in 2025, people are not over here with Nick Fuentes. They're way down the road about 100 yards this way. So,
Dude, they're further
by
right than Nick. Yeah, definitely.
2024, most people were, because I basically know everybody and can gauge things and know how to scan a lot of data, as you know. Just about a year ago, the average person would say, even they know who Nick Fuentes is, they're basically a Nick Fuentes. Well, now it's even more to the other direction.
Right.
So that's just a dead reckoning gestalt.
Gestalt.
So
Just to give you a gestalt
I'm a
of the
person
idea.
that studies history, studies patterns, studies how different movements collide
He's
together.
a historian. Okay. Is
Dating him
Candace on
reportedly,
yet?
when he was 14.
Wait. Is Candace on?
And it was a teacher there.
Candace is
but
live.
whether we're
baby.
right or wrong about that, absolutely. We have the EU trying to take over our speech. We have the
We
UK
have to
trying
AWOD
to take it
Candace
over.
now.
Trump's threatening tariffs.
By
if,
orders of Hitler.
Starmer doesn't stop trying to
of-
control our tech companies. We have Brazil
to
coming
stop
after Elon
Hitler.
Musk. Finally, courts are ruling in favor of him. This is a big deal. You're absolutely right. Where is
Or like, can this bitch shut up?
Macron
Right.
is just absolutely
By
out of
order of the
control.
RO.
So this is a big deal. Another betrayal.
Yeah, it's a massive betrayal. And think about it.
What
in
is
this
she wearing?
context. A male student
she in
on
like
a college
a-
campus at Florida State University got lightly
Renaissance
shoved
dress.
by someone. That male student happened to be
He
Jewish.
just got
He was wearing an
done,
IDF uniform. Within a couple
performing
of
Shakespeare.
hours, our federal government, the Department of Justice, issued a response to 2 students getting into a tiff because the student was Jewish. They said this was a threat. This was a threat. Somehow the federal government must get involved and swoop in as if
Seriously,
they
what
had
is she
burned down
wearing?
the campus. I mean, it was so silly. And yet you have a sitting president of a foreign country
The
who is
fucky?
effectively launching war on the United States Constitution, because that's what this is.
Yeah, why is
right?
your
It's a
chest
First
white?
Amendment
Yo.
right. He is saying, I don't
Is this a
care about
bitch in
your Constitution.
blackface?
Shut up and stop speaking about my wife. And Trump is
Yo.
not saying anything. We just have
Hello?
to effectively acknowledge that he's castrated right now. In
She's
this moment,
bleaching.
Donald Trump has been effectively castrated. And I'm not sure why he wouldn't come out and instantly say
Candace,
this is unacceptable.
Candace,
Too
I
much
saw your
is what
fiery
she's wearing.
response to the Macron suit, and,
Right.
I think what you said is totally true on the Constitution, and I've seen what you said. You have a total right to say it. And I tend to think you're right about a lot of it.
Salutations, fine shit.
But because there's not just the issue of what is the sex. You're like, I'm going to get a blood test. I'm going to get my fair trial. I can tell you when they sue you in these leftist jurisdictions, you don't get a fair trial. You get defaulted, and then they have HBO produce a show. And once you're defaulted, they can make up whatever they want about you. Then they have a jury on the damages. Now, obviously, you can learn from what happened to me and what happened to Trump with his show trials. I'm just saying, when these people come after you, it is a show trial. You got to be ready up front when they
Candace
try these
is such a
tricks.
grumpy
They'll say you didn't
bitch,
give them
right?
discovery, even though you do.
Dude, we're not Standising Candace anymore, just so we're clear. We have to A-log her and make her look stupid, chat. We're giving her the destiny treatment by order of the Goiper.
It is, whether it's your case, whether it's what happening to the Tates in Romania, that was absolutely insane. But the fact that this is transnational is incredible. This is incredible. This is a sitting
I
president.
hate
This is not like
Candace.
he's
Still
gone back
would,
to his
though.
president
Yeah,
life.
right.
You know what I mean? This is a
That's the
current
right
sitting
attitude.
president, right? With power over France, who is doing this. And our government is saying we're going to allow him.
Don't try to
have
say the
power
N-word
over
or
our
I'll ban
courts.
you.
What does that tell us? Is this it? Are we
Manually.
looking at a globalized government? Trump's silence seems to suggest that. You should have to answer this. You are the leader. If we have national sovereignty, and I am a constituent of the United States, and I am being attacked by another nation, Trump should be required to issue a statement on what he thinks about that. That should be like a
Macron
requirement.
is a public figure, and so is
What?
his significant other.
Exactly. Which, so the bar is, of course, a lot
Wait,
higher here.
what?
And I believe in my heart and
What
in
did
my
she
soul
just say?
that is a man who transitioned and married
You're saying
Macron.
if someone accuses them
and
of
presented all
being
the evidence, obviously, for me to
trans,
have done
they should
7
have
hours on
to
this, and for
respond,
the world
like,
to be
legally?
seized by that, it wasn't because I was just flipping my hair saying, "Oh, like that just doesn't look like a man to me." We presented very compelling evidence. Let's also not forget
Dude,
that
old
we did
women
not
just
begin the
kinda look
series
like
before we
guys.
sent them a list of questions and said, "We'll allow you to
But
tell
more
your
ugly
side of
than
it.
guys,
Answer these
'cause
yes or no questions." We weren't asking
women
for blood,
just kind of
Alex.
are more
We
ugly
said,
guys.
Did you
typically.
ever live as a man named Jean-Michel Trogneau? All of this is public before we publish the first episode.
Yeah, C-words allowed.
So how do you meet that actual malice standard outside of the corruption of the courts? And you know, Alex, I want to say this because this is actually what's most important about
They
this.
should have to show their
Is
genitals.
they're coming after me because the series exposed that everyone, and I shouldn't say everyone literally, but too many people in Emmanuel Macron's orbit have gone down for pedophilia. Okay, a pedocriminal orbit that surrounds Emmanuel Macron. It's senseless, and this is
They're
what Tucker Carlson said when I was on
French.
the
They're
show
all
today. How many of your
pedophiles.
friends can go down for pedophilia before we're allowed to start asking questions?
He's the president
right?
of France.
That is the fear that they have. That is the anger that they have towards this series. Remarkably,
You're French,
Alex,
you're
let
gonna
me tell
know
you
some
something else.
pedophiles.
Before we started our series,
Grow up.
they went out to crisis PR firms. They were in communication with us. We said, we won't run this series. We'll go to France and get your evidence. I don't want to make a fool of myself if you're actually who you say you are. And you've got 30 years of, of a vacuum here. We can't find anything about you, but maybe you're just like, I'm shy. I was fat in those years. Like, show us the pictures, and I will tell my audience the truth.
Because again,
they
it was
had
already
access
a
to my
huge
platform.
controversy in France, and then they got lower
Yeah,
you
courts
can't
for
swing a
those
dead
people.
child in
Mainstream
France without hitting a
journalists, the left
pedophile.
mainstream journalists, Alex. This is the most crucial part of this.
True.
This is not a conspiracy theory from the far right. The left was trying to do puff pieces. Vanity Fair, Condé Nast was trying to do puff pieces on Brigitte Macron, the new first lady, feminism. And they suddenly were brought into the Élysée Palace, and they were treated like they were criminals. And they were not allowed to get any answers to their questions. And they had to go through a woman named Mimi Marchand, okay? Mimi Marchand has since gone down. for the
Pedophile
forgery of
writer. Look,
documents.
that's just
Okay, there's like
this is
3
just like
pictures that they were providing, and they were not.
That was just a picture of like
get any answers to their
the
questions.
average French
They had to go
person.
through
Hold on, you look sad too. See, this is just what Europeans are like. They're just pedophiles. Europeans, especially the continental ones, are all just kind of depressed, sad pedophiles. They're bald sometimes. This is so French. You know what I mean? Like, this really is, though, such a French photo.
Woman named Mimi Marchand, okay? Mimi Marchand has since gone down for the forgery of documents, okay? There's like 3 pictures that they provided.
Oh, yeah, no. Someone banned
the
Specs
French
Master
law,
for trying to get around the
case just got
filter, even though I said
overturned. They're
not to.
appealing it to the higher court. But even those journalists have now been winning in court despite all the power of the Macrons. And I believe they pivoted to sue you just to change the subject from them losing that case.
Right, 100%. You are 100% accurate. That's what they did. It was a PR move. They lie so much in the documents. They totally say that I said things that I never said. They put it out of, take out the context so the statements look, it's just like reading a hit piece, where you have like 2 words I said, but then you create your own sentence around it. And Claire and Locke should be ashamed.
I've experienced it myself. That's exactly what they do.
But we're going to hit back hard. Because this matters, Alex. This severely matters. You're talking about children, and Paris has always had an issue, a steep history with pedophilia. Emmanuel Macron, as president, tried to lower the age of consent. It was 15 to 13. He misrepresented it to his constituents, tried to lower it to 13. Fortunately, there was outrage that didn't happen. But they were successful in removing the teacher standard. So that part of the law was that, like, you have to be 18. The age of consent had to be 18 if the adult had power over you, like a teacher, student. And their minister, Eric Dupond-Moretti, got that changed so that a teacher-student relationship was no longer considered a relationship where the
Alex isn't going to attack Tucker,
18.
I don't
now
think.
It's 15.
It's just,
Why are they doing
insane.
that?
What's the timeline?
The book on his desk. The book on his desk for his official presidential portrait. A book written by Andre Gide, a self-admitted pedophile. He never denied what he was. He was going down.
Find a French author that's not a pedophile.
In Algeria. He admitted that. You choose that
as
the book that's on the desk.
You can't. He's got to choose a book.
Okay, they're laughing at us.
You can't.
They're laughing at us, Alex.
Why do you
they're
think
daring us to do something?
Why do you think they're ignoring Candace Owens' The Streisand Effect?
I think there's one of 2 things. I think the first thing is they were just going to extend as a PR
Every book in his office is written by a pedophile.
Hoping people would believe it. But the other thing is that their former Minister of Justice, Eric Dupond-Moretti, came out, and they could be so deluded that they truly believe this. He came out and he said that I was being funded by Russia via Marine
Candace,
Le Pen's
Macron gets unlimited BBC and she can't.
Kooky story to bring down the French Republic. None of that's true, but I have seen circumstances where people truly do not believe that something organically went viral, and they think that they're going to uncover something in Discovery. Like I was.
Wait, is that what they're doing? Roblox Thug says, how is that insane? They literally just said the age should be standard and not different for teachers. Is she saying that they're changing the age of consent, but they're changing it just for teachers? Like, that's what they're doing?
Taking orders from Vladimir Putin. I don't know.
So retarded.
But they can have all Discovery in the world.
But she's just obfuscating what they're actually
completely
doing.
Organically, because I read an article. I mean, PBD was there. Patrick Bet-David could testify to the day that I.
No, Alex isn't against Nick. I don't think Alex is like a part of that. Alex is. I mean, even when we were watching earlier in this episode, he was saying he was saying Nick in a positive way.
I fell down the hole of Macron's wife and realized that this was something very real. So they're going to be very unfortunate if they're digging, because I think there's some larger plot.
I think she just scheduled all this stuff.
There's no doubt this is going to blow up in their face. I would be very careful about your security, though, because you've got the French state and these sick people after you. We're almost out of time.
Emmanuel Macron.
You've got a lot of things to take care of with your children and things. But I wanted to get into your
General
Tucker
Intelligence
appearance.
Service.
A lot of interesting
you
stuff
can hear
was said
me
there, and it was also some controversial things. I just wish that all the thought leaders in the populist awakening movement, and I'm not blaming anybody, could just get along and be friends. People keep asking me my position, all the stuff that was said on Tucker, some of the things that went on, and my bottom line is I'm staying on target with getting the poison vaccines out, the fluoride in the water, stopping World War III, securing the border, stopping the AI takeover.
The French versus Candace.
What are some of the key points from that Tucker interview?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think that there are people that there's victim mentality on the right too, people that constantly have to create issues and infight. And I've obviously been very interested in going after big cases,
Ooh.
especially cases that suggest that the courts are
Dude,
corrupt.
is she gonna
And I'm
is she
100%
going to
focused on that. And
attack
I
Nick
think
with this?
I was grateful to go on Tucker's show because it showed we got to a more broad audience to really discuss what it was about the Macron series that has them so upset that they're doing something that's never been done in the history of the world. I mean, we covered very many topics. Tucker and I, we are a target for the obvious reasons, is we've been very effective in standing up to the state of Israel. We've never seen this many people turn away from Israel as what happened in the last, I would say, 2 years. The polls show that.
Thank you so
support
much,
against
Candace.
Israel
That was
has
all
effectively
you.
collapsed over the last 2 years. And I think that's in
Candace,
large part thanks
the
to people
youth
like
love
Dave Smith,
you.
Tucker Carlson, people like me. We've survived
No one's
cancellations
more famous
for saying
to
those
Zoomers
things. And
than
of course,
you.
also we rose to just meet the moment, which is what's happening in Gaza, put a lens on all of this stuff. And so I'm interested in obviously working with people that have our eyes and our
Dave
perspective
Smith,
on fighting
Tucker
the corruption of the
Carlson,
state. This
Candace
is what really matters. And
Owens.
for me as a mom, the kid stuff is
Woke up the
most
generation.
important
Well,
thing
let's talk
for us
about
to be fighting.
Israel the time we have left. Look, I'm not an Israel phobe, but I am a big opponent of Netanyahu. And Israel's been manipulating our internal policies, but mainly foreign policy, Middle East for a long time. That's not debatable. Powerful lobby. But with the vacuum of the Democrats so disheveled and their funding down and their record low approval rating, the Israel lobby really is making a move on our domestic operations. I mean, just look at the trying to cut the FEMA funds to any municipality or state that criticize Israel. I mean, this is real tyranny. Imagine if China was lobbying and saying, if you criticize communist China, the government's going to come after you in the U.S. I mean, we hear about foreign powers all the time. Israel's really making a move on the U.S. right now, and it's supercharging
For the first time
awakening
ever.
in Israel. I mean, Israel's in a
It
lot of
hadn't
trouble.
previously been.
Yeah, without question. There's no
Previously,
way
China
back from
had
it. So it doesn't matter if they're
been
trying to
dominating.
pass laws so that kids learn about October 7th in the classroom. Completely ridiculous. Would never happen for any other country that had an event. It doesn't matter that brainwashing that I think we went through in the classroom as well. Textbooks, by the way, that Robert Maxwell.
No,
had
I don't
an
think
interest
that's a
in.
good
And
move,
I'm
Callum,
packing
as
that
you
on my
gripe.
series. Really, our history with Israel is something.
We just need to
once
get
you get into
clips
the history,
to
how
make
can
her
you
look
ever
stupid.
support this nation? And I want to be
Which
very
I'm
clear
sure
to the
there's a
people that are
bunch.
on the fence here and go, oh well, we all learned that we have to support Israel. God will bless those who support Israel. If you are supporting a nation that will murder women and children in broad daylight and laugh at you and laugh at children that are starving because, I don't know, you think it's going to fill your bank account or it's some indulgence and you're going to get into heaven, you better know that if they need to, they will do the exact same thing.
I'm not
to you and your
Israel
family.
phobe, but I do
You don't
hate
play with
Jews, says
psychopaths.
Alex.
You don't. And there's no question
Listen,
in my mind.
I'm
that
just
the
an
Netanyahu
anti-Semite. It's
and
not really
the course
about
people that
Israel.
support what he's doing or try to gaslight us about what's happening are indeed psychopaths. You have to be a psychopath to see children
Fug!
starving, crying, dying with limbs blown up, and to
Dude,
lie about
can
that.
you get that
and
fly
or to
off
try to
that kid's
justify it by
face?
saying, well, on October
They're patting
7th,
his back
Israel
while a
was busy
fly
that
is
day and
crawling
let
by
down
his
all their,
eye. That
very
was
obvious
fucked
to
up.
me. It was a false flag operation.
You see that?
Which means you're even more of a psychopath. They'll kill their own citizens. You don't think they're going to kill you one day? You never help empower a psychopathic regime, ever.
Well,
Because
we
it
got
will come back to
Ambassador
either bite
Huckabee
you or
saying-
your children in the
Yo,
ass.
Doge in charge. Chill.
Absolutely. We've got Ambassador
What the
Huckabee. I'll put the
heck?
clip after you leave, saying Israel's the most humanitarian country in the world. They're doing the best job.
Oh, you got to let me see that clip. Let's go one more after. I know you have a break coming up.
No,
I got to
great.
see that clip. I haven't even seen it.
Oh, yeah.
I got to see it because that's what I mean. It's like, what do they have on these people? How do you do that? How do you sleep at night? How do you have children and listen to that stuff? And how do you, when I tuck my kids in at night, I imagine that scenario with bombs dropping and politicians pretending
yeah,
that's not
Candace.
happening.
We don't care. We're going to break.
It's totally
Bye-bye.
All right,
demonic.
We're back in a few
Alex.
minutes and with Candace Owens. I'll play this clip for her. Glad she's holding over. Candace Owens, CandaceOwens.com. The
Dude,
real
this-
Candace
okay,
Owens.
you can't show, dude. You can't be showing
We'll go to the Alex Jones store.
war gore set to music like that, dude. That's fucked up.
You're not jittery, that there's no crash, that you could still go to sleep if you wanted to, but you don't feel like you're falling asleep every single
Meth
day. I mean,
blue.
methylene blue is
Ultra
something that
blue
I will
meth.
take for the rest of my life. And you can look into all the studies and the conversations from RFK Jr.
It doesn't
to
even
Mel
give you
Gibson,
energy.
to
That
Chase
doesn't even-
Hughes. They've done studies on the effects
Am
of
I
methylene
insane?
blue, where people take it and then they do red light therapy, and the benefits are just absolutely
Does
astounding. You're absorbing more
methylene
oxygen.
blue-
Your mitochondria are totally fired up. Your body is means absorbing more
That's-
energy from the
they're
sun
just
itself.
adding
It's
more
like
claims.
super chlorophyll
Give
for
you
a human body.
energy,
And you'll feel better,
like-
and you'll feel the hot blood running through your veins, and you'll understand that you're
energy?
focused, that you have more energy, and you won't be
Am I
jittery,
insane?
and there isn't a come down.
Methylene blue does not give you energy like
more of the
caffeine.
oxygen that you
It
breathe
could support
in. Literally,
your
the stuff
baseline
that
cellular
life is made of,
energy
isn't it
through
said in Genesis
mitochondrial
that
pathways.
God breathed
though.
life into Adam. Well, this makes you be able to make the most out of God's
Maybe.
breath into you. And look,
Maybe
our whole purpose
in a
on this
roundabout
earth
way.
is to honor God.
Maybe
We are His
a bit,
creation.
a little
and
bit.
so what better way to honor Him than becoming
TLDR, been taking
the
methylene
best
blue.
versions of ourselves? It's called
No
self-actualization.
instant boost like caffeine. May support gradual energy improvement at the cellular level. Mitochondria.
Health is part of that.
Human data is limited. No FDA approval for energy or focus benefits. Possible side effects and drug interactions. Used only under medical supervision.
Store.com right now. Get methylene blue. You're fighting for your body and your mind and for humanity at the same time. You're doing
A few small human trials hint at short-term cognitive benefits, including memory retrieval, improvement in focus, but these are limited and not conclusive.
Please remember that this broadcast.
I swear they're just adding new claims. Like that was not what they were saying it did before, right? Am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. They don't want you to have it, brother.
On X, it changes the world. When you share the feed from Infowars.com,
Dude, just take Adderall. Imagine if they could sell Adderall. Imagine if you didn't have to go to a doctor and Alex Jones could sell you Adderall. The ads that they would have
The live feed, when you share the clips of the show, when
would
you
be so.
send that out
And then
to
I'd be like,
everyone you know,
true.
the reach, the amplification, that is
Preach.
99% of this operation. You are the whole shooting match. And the InfoWar is everything. And you are the mind, the bones, the guts, the blood, the will, the soul of the InfoWar. So release your
Methylene blue
will
can be dangerous with Adderall, if I remember correctly. Then who the fuck is taking that shit? Not someone serious about being woke.
Leading
Awake.
a frontal assault on the lies
Locked
of the New
in.
World Order. It's Alex Jones.
Are they back with Candace? Meth.
Waging war
Amphetamine
on
blue.
corruption. It's Alex Jones coming to you live from the front lines of the Info War.
Coming to us. Guys.
All right, when you talk about gaslighting, and again, I don't want to attack Governor Huckabee now, Ambassador Huckabee. I agree with him on domestic policies, you know, a lot of stuff. But you can't then, as the ambassador to Israel, say Israel has the best human rights, the best military, the best for not targeting civilians.
Greatest
When
human
without
rights
me even looking for
ever.
it, there are new videos every few hours of Israelis shooting 5, 6, 7-year-old kids, 10-year-old kids, laughing, blowing their heads off, blowing their genitals off, bombing women and children trying to get food with drones, with hand grenades. And the world sees this. And now Netanyahu says he's going to take all of Gaza and I guess push them into the ocean. And I'm not supporting what Hamas did. Candace pointed out, why did Israel stand down? You don't hear about an investigation of that. This is how Netanyahu stays in power. I know a lot of Israelis, all their former defense ministers and intelligence ministers have gone public saying it needs to stop. But Netanyahu's charging
Is
ahead,
Candace
and then
still
you've
on
got an
her?
enabler, really a
My
sycophant,
genitals!
like
They're
Huckabee.
gone!
Here's 2 clips of him, 2 short clips from the same interview yesterday where he says, well, you'll see it for yourself. Here it is.
I'll tell you this, if Israel is committing genocide, Mark, they're really bad at it. They're terrible at doing genocide, just like they're terrible at doing apartheid. This is the only real democracy in this part of the world where people vote,
Dude,
elect their
come
own
on.
officials. They have free speech. They have freedom of
How
movement.
is this guy-
It's an
how
extraordinary
is he
country.
real?
And one of the reasons that America and Israel have such a relationship is because we share the
Jews are
foundations
the
of Western
worst.
civilization, based, by the way, on a Judeo-Christian
Oh,
moral
right.
foundation. They're not perfect, but neither is any other country on earth. But the Israelis do a doggone good job of trying to protect innocent human life. They do an amazing job of trying to prevent collateral damage.
Great
And
work,
I wish that
guys.
they would get credit for some of the things their military does to protect Gazans, the civilians. no other country, including the United States, takes the steps they take to try to minimize the insanity that we're dealing with right now. Is that there are so many European nations, so many Americans who are angry at Israel for the suffering in Gaza. Mark, there is one reason that there is suffering in Gaza. It's the same reason that 1,200 people were massacred on October the 7th. It's the same reason that 250 people were taken hostage. 50 of them continue to be held hostage and tortured.
This guy stinks.
And that's
if
because
Hitler
of
did a
Hamas.
genocide, he's very bad at it because there's still a bunch of Jews.
And all of this time, Israel has done everything it can. They've made I don't know how many different offers in order to get the hostages out to end this. Hamas always walks away, always says
loving the
no.
Walter White look.
And for some crazy reason, the Europeans and people around the world are blaming Israel for this. I can't get my arms around
how long is this
what
fucking
the
clip?
rationale is, but it doesn't
We
make
get
any
it.
sense.
He loves Israel.
Candace, I rarely
Candace,
see
thoughts
such
on that?
staggering gaslighting.
Yeah, you know, it's funny to hear him go through those talking points because I recognize
we don't need
those talking
child
points in
gore.
myself.
I get
I used to work for
I
Prager
don't.
U, a Zionist organization, and truly, when I said it, I was just ignorant. Like Israel wasn't. This is what I was told, and now obviously I appreciate going backwards that this is an organization that was put together by an IDF unit, right? The CEO is literally worked in intelligence at the IDF, and I believed those talking points because you're like, why would people lie to me about that? It's the only democracy in the Middle East. It's the most humane army in the world. They all say the same thing. Now, when it comes to him, though, he's not saying that out of ignorance. He is saying that because he wants to gaslight us. He would have more access than most to what's actually happening in Israel. And like you said, all you have to do is scroll your Twitter feed and you can see what's happening. The entire world is saying what's happening is wrong, right? Bibi Netanyahu should have been arrested were it not for the fact of that Americans are corrupt and that perhaps what Muammar Gaddafi was saying in his last speech before Tony Blair and co took him out was true. Right? That this is all just one big mirage, that the idea of the United Nations and that they were going to come together and make sure that that we were doing the moral thing going forward. The whole idea that we needed sort of international democracy is a farce. It's a lie. It's an illusion.
Is that Kevin Spacey?
And in fact, these courts were put together to allow certain countries, Israel and America included,
who was that?
And France and the UK,
My typing
to do
speed
whatever they
increases a
wanted
bit.
and to
I
exert
think
full control over
faster
the
is
rest of the
only
world. That is
from
why we've had
creatine
a
and
repeat
caffeine.
humane policy of blowing up millions of Muslims every year.
And then
that's what we
opening the
do.
borders,
We did that in Iraq.
and then opening the borders up with the UN and bringing them in.
Right.
So I agree
okay.
on like what Israel's doing, and it's terrible.
If someone tells you
Syria,
methylene,
by the way, it's not
this
just
is retarded. If someone tells you methylene blue is going to give you energy, and you feel like a very, 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 very slight increase in it, that's just placebo. That anything, I could tell you that a glass of water is going to do that. You would get
Using
that.
this to energize the communist movements that want to destabilize the U.S.
That's true.
What about the threat of Islam? And I know Israel's actually stirring it up, and so is the U.S., and that's been the policy in bringing them in. But paradoxically, just because I'm against what Israel's doing, I'm also extremely concerned about Islam. I know you are as well. So what do we do about this?
Yeah, let's be very clear.
Dude,
And this is a
Master
deeper question that we have to ask.
Living up to his
Why
name.
is it that all of these people that were assets, why do you and I both know that the CIA has been funding these radical Islamists
Tyler,
for a
stop
very long
taking.
time?
I don't
They
think
give them
it's bad
weaponry,
for you. I
and
don't
then
think it
they go,
matters.
oh my God, they became
I don't think
problematic.
it
Suddenly,
just doesn't
like,
do
you know,
anything.
they're extremely problematic. Yeah, we funded those people, Osama bin Laden, Saddam Hussein. Yeah, we worked with all those people, and we funded all of these militant groups. And yeah, Israel admitted that they funded al-Nusrat in which is like Al-Qaeda adjacent in Syria. They admitted that. They armed these militants and trained
Is he
them.
testing it out, Martin?
And then now they go, oh, they're.
I want to hear what he has to say. Everyone that I've asked who's like who would know who's taking it says it doesn't do anything.
To me, like the world is a stage. And the more, and this is why I do this with my book club,
like
we need to go back and
compare it to other things,
because this stuff has been going on for a very long time. Tricks are being played on us. You got Operation Mockingbird. We've got the textbooks that are just
the
propaganda.
New dictator of Syria, backed by Israel, NATO, the Biden administration, and Turkey, is the former leader of Al-Qaeda and is purging Christians.
Yeah, exactly. And so they are not telling Americans this because our press is bought and paid for, and they're told that they have to support Israel. But that is the reality. The mass murder of Christians, Israel is okay with it. They funded it. Everything that happened in Syria, all of the
Tyler
neocons
said he thinks it works,
right?
but
Assad
I
was
think his
protecting
brain
the
is just
Christians.
blue.
The neocons applauded when he went down. And
listen, if you're taking something and it's a question as to whether or not it's working, it's not working. Like I don't take a 20 milligram Adderall and go, Yeah, I think it's, I think I'm feeling it right now. I get butterflies in my tummy, start bouncing up and down, can instantly hit headshots I could never hit before. I'm like, I'm like ready to go. I'm like straight up. I need to start talking. I'm wasting fucking time right now. Like, it's not a question. It shouldn't be a question whether or not it's fucking working.
You will have your funding cut for hurricanes, tornadoes, fires, earthquakes. Mark Levin is on the board and made those decisions. I mean, talk about being a foreign agent. I bet he's Mossad.
Yeah, I love
Jimbo,
that.
it doesn't
Trump
is how it
calls
is.
him a
Adderall
patriot.
equal,
Yeah,
it doesn't
he's a patriot,
work.
just not of a,
Well, no,
patriot
if
for
it's a
America.
question,
He's a
it's just
patriot
not
of
working.
Israel. And again, just him tweeting
If it's a question, you might as well just take 100 other
of all of his supporters, and
random
it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to be duped. It
things
doesn't
in your
feel good
stack.
because we're all so passionate about
But
Trump.
you're
and we truly
just,
believe
you're just,
that he
just
wanted
take
to
Adderall
eradicate
at
the
that
deep
point. If
state.
that's
It
what you
doesn't feel good
want.
to
Just
know
do fucking an
that the left
Adderall
and the right
and
are in
steroids.
lockstep in many ways, right? We have to stop this false paradigm, this paradigm left versus right, the false dichotomy here of choice, and to recognize that we are fighting the state. I truly believe that we are fighting a military state, effectively. The military has been in control for a very long time. They run influence campaigns.
Dude, this
as
is
well.
so
A lot of
retarded.
these people
You're
that
not
you think
fighting the
are
state
coming
of
out
Israel. You're
nowhere,
fighting global.
and are just like tech people that they built this in their basements. No, this is all
Read
military tech.
Faceless.
And
Jimbo, I've been taking 4 milligram methylene blue for a month, and I replaced an RX antidepressant and quit it with no side
It's very
effects.
obvious that it's global collusion.
You replaced
And
an
at the center of
RX
everything that is happening,
antidepressant.
and let me say this before they
What
pass the new
wait, like an
definition of
SSRI?
anti-Semitism, as HIS has been doing, and America is trying
How would
to
it
adopt across
replace
college campuses.
an
But you would be a fool
What?
not to notice that Israel seems to be at the center of all of these stories.
Well, did you see the head of
It's
Meta
giving you the
censorship
same effect that an
where she said,
SSRI gave you, is what you're
We
saying?
run the censorship at all the big tech companies.
The fuck?
And now we're going to change
It's
the
what, it's
definition.
making you not
Criticize
feel
Israel or
anything?
Zionism, we're going to get you banned and debanked and shut down. And if you say we're censoring you, we're going to censor you. In the same breath.
What are the
and
effects
it's so
of that?
villainous, and I don't even want to be in this position. And then you've got, that's an echo of Sacha Baron
That's not
Cohen.
debunk. An
5 years ago,
SSRI
the
would make you
Gala.
sleepy.
Now they
That'd
have
be
the
the
annual bill
opposite.
progressing through that you mentioned that will literally just shut down anybody that even criticizes Israel. That's going to create a Streisand effect. Don't they see it's having the opposite effect? Speaking of that, here's Sacha Baron Cohen saying arrest Mark Zuckerberg.
The side
when he wouldn't give
effects
the ADL
of
full
bad
control, he was
drugs,
censoring,
nausea,
but their boards were
drowsiness,
telling the feds who were
insomnia,
telling Facebook who to
dizziness,
do it. They
sweating,
trained a
dry
lot of
mouth,
Facebook and Instagram censors
low
and others.
libido.
But here they were at the
Difficulty
gala,
shooting
I'm gonna put the
rope.
whole thing, but saying it, maybe it's time to jail these people. And notice Cohen says, and so did Greenblatt in the same gala.
Oh, this one doesn't make you
Russians
sleepy.
got Trump elected, and so anybody that's criticizing us going after Trump, they need to be put in jail. So see, they're merging. Everybody's a Russian agent, and so you deserve to be censored. That's mainly from the left. But also, if you criticize Israel, we're going to censor you. And it's
I mean, maybe
all
it
the
does
same
that.
agenda
I'm
out of
just
the
saying,
ADL.
if
Here it is.
you're looking for energy,
maybe
just do fucking
fines
drugs.
are not enough. Maybe it's time to
Can
tell
anyone
Mark
disagree with
Zuckerberg
that?
and the CEOs of these companies, you already allowed one
I quit
foreign
daily
power to
jankum
interfere
use
in our
by
elections.
turning my brain
You
blue.
already facilitated one genocide in Myanmar. Do it again, and you go to jail. And that trigger outrage and fear. It's why YouTube recommended videos by the conspiracist Alex Jones billions of times. It's why fake news outperforms real news, because studies show that lies spread
Take morphine,
faster than
Jimbo.
truth. And it's no surprise that the greatest
Take
propaganda machine in
morphine.
history has spread the oldest conspiracy theory in history, the lie that Jews are somehow dangerous. As one headline put it,
Sorry, I'm
just
distracted.
think
This is
what
just boring.
Goebbels could have done with Facebook. On the internet, everything can appear equally legitimate.
Scary.
Breitbart resembles the BBC. The fictitious protocols of the elders of
Breitbart
Zion
is nothing like a
look as valid
BBC.
as an ADL report.
Breitbart could
Now,
never.
notice that's the script 5 years ago. I'll play a short clip of Joanna Cutler, the head of censorship at Meta, in a moment, saying the same thing. So we're going to censor you, and if you say we're censoring you, you're anti-Semitic. No, you're a Jewish group trying to censor us, hiding behind that, and literally we all need to go to jail. I mean, this is pretty scary.
Absolutely. There's no question that's scary. It's terrifying. And what should terrify us the most is that our government is complicit. Like Trump is allowing the ADL to take over his administration. He's allowing this to happen to American citizens. That's why I said they have rendered him effectively impotent. And let's be clear, the IDF minister, what was it, about a year ago, got up and said, we need to go after Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. We've had these spokespeople like David Friedman get on stage and call for the arrest of Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson. There was some weird operation that was happening across Southern churches, Southern Baptist churches, where I showed, it was like Operation Mocking Pastor, where they all got on stage on the same Sunday. I had done nothing with Tucker Carlson, and they started saying, you know, you shouldn't listen. They were preaching to their constituents, you shouldn't listen to Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. Always
they're right.
Us. I hadn't done a show in 2 years until last week, right? And so it's very clear that they are worried that people are waking up to what they are. They are speech censors. The ADL has always been speech censors. The history of the ADL is very dark. It involves Jewish gangsters in America. You should recognize that the ADL was founded on gangsters who wanted to control the reputations of people that were up to no good, okay? And that's what they've always done.
Actually, a pedophile that tortured and killed a little girl.
Okay.
Oh, that's
okay,
exactly
Alex
right.
Jones,
and they still to this day lie about the Leo Frank
Alex
case.
Jones
and
got
despite
no
all of their
chill
power and blackmail operations,
anymore.
They still couldn't wipe the stain
He's
of
just
what
ready
Leo
to name
Frank did
him.
to that Catholic
He's just ready
girl,
to say
right?
it.
It's stunning that they still try to tell this lie of what Leo Frank did to Mary Fagan. That's who you're speaking about. And so we will do the exact opposite. And you are correct. They will come in. They will come inward. They will try arrest. These people are dangerous. Many of these people are descendants of Bolsheviks, right? Like literally the descendants of Bolsheviks who came over here after they tried to assassinate the Tsar. And people were angry about them trying to kill a Christian,
well,
a
even
Christian
after
king,
that, the
which they eventually did do.
when Trotsky got run out, the Trotskyites, they created the neocons. That's on record, folks.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That these are dangerous people. Okay, they will lie, steal, murder. Get into your history books, guys. Learn about who Emma Goldman was. These people came here and they started the labor unions. Okay, you look into the story of who shot Henry Frisk. Right?
No!
Fortunately, he survived that. But it was a demented commie from
the labor
Emma
unions
Goldman, who came over here. She was behind Margaret Sanger, abortion. These people are psychotic. It is a death
Send us back
cult.
to the
I'm telling you
mine.
this. When you get into history of these people that came over into our
There
country,
was never
specifically,
a time when
and now they are recognizing that too many people are waking up to this history of crushing speech, of being willing to murder people to get what they want. Right? Murder people to achieve power. At their core, they are commies. They are liars.
Well, I mean,
and
now
when you
we've
have
got
to start
saying
censoring
if
speech,
you
it's
live in a
because
blue
you can't
city,
win.
if you live in a blue city or state, and there's a hurricane or tornado, you're not going to get helicopter rescue because of because what your state rep said. Let's play this last clip because I know you got to go soon. But this is
so funny. They reversed that because everyone
Jordana
freaked
Cutler,
out. But that's
this
so
is the head of Meta censorship, and she literally
And TikTok, they have TikTok too. Go ahead.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And here she is saying, we're going to censor people. We're going to expand the definition of anti-Semitism to ban people if you criticize Zionism. And then she says, we're in control of censorship, but if you say it, we're going to censor you. Listen to this.
In addition to my work leading
Yeah,
the Israel public
crazy.
policy team, I created
She
a
looks
new
totally
role
bonkers.
specifically focused on the Jewish diaspora. It is a privilege to represent Meta to Jewish communities worldwide. I am proud that Meta's commitment to addressing anti-Semitism on our platforms has remained steadfast, especially after October 7th.
Meta does not give a
Our policies
fuck.
are industry
Have
leading
you opened
in protecting
Instagram?
Jewish people and
This
Israelis
bitch
on our
does not give a
platforms.
shit.
Our community standards include policies that prevent
W.
harassment,
Zuckerberg.
violence, and incitement, and include a robust framework to combat anti-Semitism. Our hateful conduct policy includes specific protections for Israelis and Jews. We banned
Live Candace
Holocaust denial and
reaction.
distortion back in 2020. We changed industry thinking on this issue, designating denial as hate speech rather than misinformation. It wasn't just about facts, it was about protecting people from harmful conduct. We banned content with harmful stereotypes about Jews, such as the claim that Jews run the world or other major institutions. We updated our policies to recognize that the term Zionist can be used as a proxy for Jews and Israelis. We banned content claiming Zionists run the world or control the media, and we do not allow for dehumanizing comparisons of Zionists. It's a delicate balance between safety and expression. My role is to ensure that the voices of Israelis and the Jewish community are heard in this policymaking process.
So we do not allow people to say we censor, and that's why we censor them. I mean, who writes these speeches?
Yeah, that's the whole point. And you have to be clear. These people are psychologically violent, okay? They are like trained to be like this. They gaslight in the face of
Dude,
overwhelming
that girl
evidence, getting back to what's
Casey
happening in Israel
ratioed
right
the
now.
fuck
And
out
they
of
will start
Candace.
censoring people. We have
Holy
seen this.
shit.
If people start to take notice
That's
of this
so
and
funny.
going, wait a second, you literally just said that you have all this power. Now me saying that you have power is anti-Semitism. You're actually, the TikTok woman that they just put in charge of speech as well, a TikTok, same thing. She did a whole thing about how she's a Zionist, how she went and served in the IDF.
Dude, Candace was responding to Jaden attacking Nick, and then she got like 100 likes being like, it's crazy how he just lies about me, blah 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 blah. And then that girl Casey responded to her and got 1.1k likes in the reply.
Showing that they were editing Wikipedia to make sure that it had a Zionist bent. Okay, they are ahead of us in the information war. I actually never appreciated you calling your show the information war until I started researching Zionism. Truly, and now I'm like, it's been an information war, and they are ahead of us. But it's all coming down, right? And they have lied for so long.
But we're winning.
And it seems to be snapping back very quickly.
Well, that was my final question.
Go, wait a second.
That was my final question. Israel's not the only issue out there, but there's a lot of other big ones. But it is the big issue. People have really.
Hold on, I need to make a group chat. I gotta
got their attention focused on this. I just want peace. I don't want Israel blown up, pushed in the ocean. A lot of Israelis don't like what's happening, but this behavior by these lobbies, it is accelerating the whole world. Gallup poll shows that Israel seems the most dangerous country in the world right now. I would say that. I'd say China. You think it is? Maybe because they want to do this Iran thing, but. I even had Michael Savage on a month ago, and he's pro-Israel. He's a really smart guy, but he said, no, Netanyahu needs to go. This is going to end up destroying Israel. So how do you see this unfolding in closing?
No.
It's not just a Netanyahu problem, right? Look at everybody who has supported this. It's not just a Netanyahu problem. You can remove Netanyahu, and this would still be an issue, right? These laws were getting passed when Netanyahu wasn't in power. He was on camera speaking about their plan to hit Palestine so hard, to hit Gaza so hard that the Palestinians couldn't go back. That's now an actuality. Right? So we have to stop pretending like one individual leaving is going to transform this from a radical state. It's radical from its genesis. It was radical from its genesis. They forced people out of their homes at gunpoint in 1948. They didn't offer them money and say, well, this territory we're now giving to somebody else, and we're going to have to politely ask you to leave, and please pack your bags, and we'll give you a year to find out where to go and $1 million, okay? It was at gunpoint. These were terrorist organizations.
I need to add to this.
The Stern Gang. They were gangsters that got this done. Gangsters that then wiped out the UK, going back to Robert Maxwell, their pension fund, pretending that you're running the Mirror Group when you're actually stealing from British citizens who worked their entire lives for that pension.
It's insane.
Same thing in America. Jeffrey
We're out of time, Candace. But
we're out of time. Get out of here, Candace. We don't give a fuck.
Today, last hour, just in, Trump states that he did not know that Ghislaine Maxwell was removed to club-fed minimum security prison at all. He defended the action, but said he was unaware of the move. How much does he know? He's also said that he doesn't know about any of these grand juries now finally convened on the Russiagate hoax coup. So here's this clip. I want you to, in closing, respond to this.
Questions for you. One, were you aware of and did you personally approve the prison transfer for Ghislaine Maxwell that your Justice Department?
I didn't know about it at all. No, I read about it just like you did.
And do you believe that she is?
It's not a very uncommon thing.
Do you believe that she's credible to be listening to your Deputy Attorney General sat down with her recently?
Well, let me tell you, he's a very talented man. His name is Todd Blanche. He's a very legitimate person, very high. I just a very highly thought of person, respected by everybody. And I didn't talk to him about it, but I will tell you that whatever he asked would be totally appropriate, and it's not an uncommon thing to do that. And I think he probably wants to make sure that, people that should not be involved or aren't involved are not hurt by something that would be very, very unfortunate, very unfair to a lot of people.
And now, Ghislaine Maxwell told DOJ Trump never did anything concerning anything around her. So people are saying this doesn't look too good, Candace, but I never saw any evidence.
Okay, are we done with this, Candace?
So why
red
carpet? Because somebody in his orbit is connected.
Dude, I don't know if I can A-log Candace like I did
like they
with
went in there and will you
Destiny.
agree?
Well, no. Listen, we gotta find clips of her and make her look stupid, because I'm sure she's just retarded. I'm sure she just says stupid shit constantly. And we gotta find clips to make her look really bad. But dude, I don't know if I can, as well as, I was about to say the N-word. No, just kidding. I don't know if I can do that as well as I could with Destiny. Okay, it was like Destiny's was at least like funny. Hers is so mind-numbing to watch.
A larger conspiracy about who has control.
My
So it's not
gosh.
just America that's fighting this. But
Is
you know,
that
I
your
don't know. We have
piece?
to
Yeah.
look towards the future. People that are willing to stand up to this are the people that should be platformed. And I think in the future, it will become a litmus test.
All right,
when
Candace
you are running
Owens,
for office.
CandaceOwens.com. Thank you so much for joining us. Look forward to speaking to you again very soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wow, that was a powerful interview. So many big subjects there. And remember, most people are scared to cover all these topics.
That was a big one.
The truth is, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm very concerned about this Epstein stuff, but I'm very happy about Kennedy and banning all the mRNA vaccines. I'm going to come back, play that, get into how they torched L.A. and how Mel Gibson's right. I got the deep dive on that and so many other big subjects next hour. Remember, you fund this operation, and we bring you great products that make it easy for you to do that. So for those of you who've been on the fence, most people that order our products reorder them, over 80% with methylene blue, 70+% of the other supplements. We have a deal running right now that will end tomorrow night at midnight. It has to. A lot of the products are getting close to selling out. All the methylene blue, all the other great supplements, buy one, get one free. That goes for the ball caps, the T-shirts, all of it. Amazing products at thealexjonesstore.com. We're changing history together. Thank you so much for backing this truth in all of our common defense against tyranny. TheAlexJonesStore.com. Buy one, get one free deal about to end. We're going to start the third hour.
Okay.
Stay with us.
Well, sorry, I don't know why I was leaving the ads.
For a limited time, you can
okay.
Murdered Out.
Okay, so let me just finish bookmarking this, and then let's move on.
Other cool shirts that just came in as well. The new Liberty Bell 1776 Declaration
why
of
do you sound like
Independence
that?
shirt is out. It's
All right, that was fun. Nah, no, that wasn't. That was actually really bad. But the beginning of his show today was actually really cool.